Okay, I'm just doing a vid on Dev. I have over 70 hours in the game. I finished the game on all heroes. I think it's a great game. I don't understand. I know it's buggy and there are some bugs. Single player, it's fairly stable. But even there's a couple of bugs, but they're easy to work around, and I put videos in the channel. They'll mainly be around the psychic visions bugging, so you'll have to know how to work that mechanic. And I've got a video on, say, the House of Echoes will be your first psychic visions. If you look at that and you work out how to do that, and basically hang around for the psychic vision. Once you've clicked it, as long as you interact with it, if you can't interact with it, you'll have to restart the safe house. And that's the only block that I found in the game, really. There's been a couple of other bugs, but a restart at the safe house fixes most things. Okay, let's talk about skills is the main thing first, and that's what you'll hear. Skills and weapons I'll talk about, and how to kill some of the harder content in the game, regardless of character. Now, the first thing in any game, these will unlock just by playing the game at certain points, pretty early on in Redfall, which was the first map. Now, these will give you ammo, and you want as much ammo early on, so I put my first points into here, and I would say for this guy, you also want to put sort of a point up there once you've got those two in, a point up there just to make sure that they take more damage, and this one isn't bad too, the few seconds. So basically when an enemy spots you, you're going to nuke them and do extra damage, so you're going to destroy stuff if you're quick about it. And these are all different for each hero. On Layla, I think they're lackluster. On the other three, they're not too bad, like extra lockpicks and things. For Jason and Remy is extra health packs. You can carry 8 instead of 5, that sort of stuff. So we've got these here. Now you want to do those. They're only 1 point again, so early on. You want to get your 1-pointers that are really good before you start investing in this tier or 2 points. Sorry, this tier is 2 points. These are 1-pointers, and these are 2 points along this row, and they are 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. So you want to keep those to last. But level 7, that, and level 12, this one, you know, the stake gun is the best weapon in the game for bossing, and killing rooks, which are your assured legendaries, and you want to make sure you never die on that, or you lose the rook. You lose the legendary, you don't get a second chance. You die, he disappears. So you want to make sure how to know. I saw a post on someone saying, oh, I'm having real trouble with rooks, because they really are hard if you don't know how to beat them quickly and how to immobilise them with the UV gun. So the UV gun and the stake gun are really crucial to survive this game and perform well, and to kill stuff, the special vamps, the rooks and so forth, though the UV gun won't help you on bossing. Doesn't matter, I mean, you need it for the gun, and most of the game is playing outside of the bosses, isn't it? So once that's done, you've got your ammo is priority, I'm simply saying. That one just gives you more money for scavenging, and money early on. It's only 1 point, isn't too bad, but I would start investing my 1-pointers in here. You know, this is really great for throwing down. First thing I do in the battle is throw down in a bunch of enemies. If vamps or run at me, I gather them up, I run backwards, I run away from them so they're all bunched up. Throw that in and UV them with my backlight even when I've got 1 point, and then I just melee them to death. I'll have my UV gun out, making sure anything that's not, you know, frozen, because you start, doesn't do as much freezing and pulsing early on until you put a couple of points in. This is the one you want to invest in first. So you want to be able to hit enemies with a pulse from the arc javelin to drop useful items. You have to unlock these to unlock the second tier and the third in a way. So when the arc javelin hits the enemy, it releases immediate electrical pulse, so it's straight away. Electrical pulse range is increased, so they're no-brainers. Each pulse of energy deals more damage, and pulses happen more frequently, so more pulsing, more staggering. So they're not hitting you, they sort of just stand there electrocuted, and you can get your UV beam, nuke them, melee them, nuke them, melee them if they're vampires. Any enemy hit by the arc javelin takes significantly more damage, and it also works for the UV beam. They actually freeze faster, which is considered damage on the weapon. And this one here, you and your allies in range of the arc javelin deal additional electricity damage, or firearm. I'm not doing electricity damage, which is the clacker gun. Or if you've got, you know, a fuse box that you fire, that hurts you as well. So I don't usually shoot those unless I'm far away. But basically anything that you do melee damage to or firearm damage to that has electricity on it, It does it. And then obviously your last one, you can read that there is just duration. It just makes it OP. And the cooldown of it is really short. So being able to throw down that, you can see on the bottom left, I've set it up on my thumb button on my mouse. So, you know, I've killed everything by the end of that done, and I then, you know, get some cover, shooting away, and it drops and comes up really quick. You translocate, which is the second one, is really handy on getting up on a roof or getting somewhere. Really handy that you want to go to, you know. It's great utility, but I'm not going to invest money in it offensively. I did try some of that, but refunded the skills. So I really want to, once that's done, now remember I'm already 2 plays through, so I've got more points than you're going to have on a single play, and some of you will just finish the game once, but I would basically at least go out to this tier and then start doing my UV beam. These aren't necessary, these two. That one's not bad for 1 pointer, just to have you translocate down off cooldown to get away from trouble. And remember with the translocate, you've got to press it to place it once and then press it again to actually use it. So I've got that again on my other thumb button, so I click to do it really quickly. And it gets you out of trouble. You know, not worth really using this as utility, even though it gives you some healing in that. This is so much better for the harder content. For the rooks, the special vamps, just being able to, I mean, they're the hardest content, so you want to have basically a double UV gun. So you've got those covered, These are for co-op. If you do co-op, they're worthwhile. But to be honest, we found it, we didn't use those. We just did our own builds. I played Remy and my son played Dev, and we were able to beat the game on midnight. Pretty good. Okay, the next one, we've got our skills done, is weapons. So we've got our, these 2 guns are the best guns in the game and just so necessary for the hardest content. So this one is your stable, whether it's purple, whether it's legendary, which I've got on 1 character. You need to freeze your vamps. Don't try to shoot them with a stake gun because there hasn't got much ammo anyway, and they move and dot around, you'll miss them. Freeze them, melee them, freeze them, melee them. If it's a special vamp like the rooks, the anglers, the siphons, something like that, which are the harder ones, you'll freeze them, then they'll be frozen. You'll quickly press your 1 key on the PC. Don't try to cycle through your weapon. Otherwise, by the time you've done that, make sure all your weapons are reloaded before going to battle. Really slow reload on this, and there's only 3. And then 1 shot to the head of the rook and 1 shot to the special vamps, and they're dead. So that's the combination. Till I worked that out, really quite hard to beat those. And obviously, you're throwing your javelin down, you're throwing down your UV beam, all of that sort of stuff. I think the assault rifles are the best in the game. I've had them all drop. Jason gets a sniper weapon, and the only sniper legendary that I've seen in the game with a special that only works for him and his Raven. But the reason of these 2, perfectly normal, and the cast special. The cast special is great for headshot damage. It's very efficient on ammo, where this will burn through ammo. You'll have to just make sure that you keep an eye on it, and every time you go back to your safe house, spend and fill up your ammo. Same for your stake gun. Be conservative with that because you only got 13 shots, so UV gun's all right, you can burn away with that. So UV and stake one. I think that's about it. I'll just give you a little bit of gameplay on the skills. So I've covered skills. You know, when you've got your ultimate power, which I haven't got full at the moment, you want to keep for your rook. I only ever use it for the big vamps, the special vamps and the rooks and stuff like that. It doesn't matter though, because I've got my electricity to, what have we got here? There's a special vamp there. Now I haven't got my other, sometimes the UV ray on these specials glitches. Let's see if the UV ray works on this. Now with these siphoners, break line of sight. Just see if I can get this harvester to freeze. If not, yep, so you do that, and then you just quickly go to that, and then up to the head, and that'll work for any special vamp. So that's a good example of a special vamp there, and you can see it fills up your meter really quickly. Same deal for a rook, but I would have put my electricity down and my UV light if I had it full up, and I would always keep that for a rook. Now this weapon is great. Let's find some human enemies here. Just got to kill the channelers. This is the last mission before the Black Sun, where you got to do the festival. I really like the beautiful graphics of the game. I like the nighttime missions, the daytime missions. Now the stake gun will kill those channelers outright, but you know, you can just kill them with this and then melee them. Remember, you can't melee with a pistol or a sniper weapon. You have to swap to something else. Now the vamps, you want to go straight, in this instance, throw down your electricity. Where are you guys? And nuke them. Melee them. They're some of the faster moving enemies in the game. Go back to your assault rifle. These are on midnight, so they nuke you pretty quick. Looking at my thumb to come out again off cooldown so I can throw it down.
Stand clear.
I haven't got my ultimate, but I don't really need it here. There's a channeler up there. And, oops, I should have done him with my stake gun I was going to do, but this guy's out. But this beam is just essential to save your butt. The UV gun, and then got him down here. Go back to your UV gun. Come on, come down so I can stake you. Now, one stake gun's alright. If I go up, she comes down. Stagger them. Melee them. That's the basic combo of those two weapons, and you saw the stake gun on the harder one to finish them off. You can't melee the big ones, they'll just come out and you have to do it like 3 times. Fire there got me. Okay, we'll leave it there. That's some gameplay. I think the game's great. I think it's been harshly reviewed. Enjoy the game. All 4 characters are worth playing through and viable, but I'd say this guy is one of the tougher ones. Have a good day.